Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the 34th installment of the NP podcast. Now, let me just start out the podcast with this. Last week we had Robbie09 on the podcast, and I swear to God, that was one of our best. I actually enjoyed that podcast so much, and it was one that I was waiting for a long time to do, really. I wanted him to be the first guest on my podcast ever, but of course things got in the way, and that's not what ended up happening. But we finally got him on over a year later, and honestly, it's my best podcast, and also it happens to be my longest. So hey, if you guys want to check that out, definitely hit the link in the description. It'll take you to it. Now, speaking of podcasts, right? Of course, next week we have another guest coming onto the podcast, and that is Bat Deeren 24. Now, I'm going to give you a little introduction to him real quick, and maybe you guys can go check him out if you're watching this right now. But I've known Bat Deeren for a long time, actually. And, he used to come into my streams back in, I think, 2017, 2018. He was in my streams a lot. And to be honest, he's been around here still to this day, and I'm not gonna lie, I like his content a lot. I watch him and he's enjoyable. He's not consistent with posting YouTube videos, which I think everybody should be good at posting YouTube videos, not just clicking stream and streaming all the time. I feel like you should have at least some schedule of posting videos, but hey, the man's gonna do what the man wants to do. But next week we're gonna be having him on the podcast, and I'm very excited for it because you know what? I just like him a lot, and I kind of can't believe throughout all this time we've never done anything on YouTube together. And hopefully in the works we have a collab going on, which might be being recorded Monday or tomorrow when you're watching this podcast, because this is going to be posted Sunday. And let me talk about that. The reason why this podcast is, first of all, pre-recorded and not going up on Saturday and isn't live is because I'm watching my puppy. Okay, now it was my turn to watch my puppy this week, Josie. I love her. She's incredible. Just she's kind of very annoying and tiresome. Like today, which this is good. It shakes up my life a little bit. But I have not. This is my first time being in my room today since I've woken up. I just wake up, go downstairs, and I'm with Josie all freaking day long. Now today she's been better than previous weeks that I've watched her, but oh my God, she is just. She's a young dog that has a lot of energy. She's a hunting dog. She's supposed to be outside, but that's kind of impossible when it's like 30 degrees out. Yeah, it's like 30 degrees out today in New York, and it's October still. Yesterday, no joke, it was like 70 degrees. I actually just stopped the recording to go check on her real quick, but she's a really sweet dog. I love her. She's only, I think, 10 months old right now, and yeah, she's a really good dog. It's just she has so much energy, and it's hard to deal with. Our other dog, Charlotte, we've had her for 11 years in next month, and she just never did anything. Charlotte is a hunting dog as well, but something was always wrong with Charlotte. She didn't ever want to play around. The only thing she does is go on walks, and other than that, she sleeps all day long. It's like having a basset hound, okay? Like it's having a basset hound in an English Springer Spaniel's body. But I love her, and I'm gonna continue training her well. And yeah, that's just some talk on my dog. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of going into this podcast with zero topics. I have not. Okay, never mind. I have one topic, but that's kind of like something I just thought of that I could talk about. But right now, I'm just, I'm doing my freestyle on the podcast. I'm just talking about whatever. And so to keep that going, I applied to another job today. Now, I didn't get the other job because it was overstaffed, which makes perfectly good sense. At height rush hour that a business should be having its peak customers coming in, there will be at max 1 car there, okay? And so it makes sense that they're overstaffed, and they actually, the owner of the place told me that he would call me if anybody ever quits to hire me, and I think I got that little privilege because my mom knows the owner. And so, which is really nice. I am glad for that, but unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever be working there, and I'm going to be working at a job I am significantly more uncomfortable with working at. Now, with that, what was so good with this job was I was going to be working 4 days out of the week for 4 hours from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, for me, that is perfect hours. In fact, that would better my life times 1,000. I would wake up, get to work, and then come home and work on videos, right? And having a consistent schedule like that always would be so comfortable to me. But at this new job, it has me scared. It has me very uncomfortable, actually. And the reason is because it's not going to be like that. It's going to be random schedule throughout the week, where every single week I'm going to basically get a different schedule, and I'm going to have to adapt my personal schedule with making YouTube videos to that schedule every week. And that basically makes me so uncomfortable, and I'm not even going to lie, it makes me scared. And but you have to chase the things you're uncomfortable with. And I was thinking about, when am I going to quit this job? And first of all, that kind of mindset is bad in the first place. It's like, that's basically saying, when am I giving myself the ability to give up? Now, that could be good if you're doing something you genuinely hate and you're just doing it because you're forced to do it. But this I don't have to do. So why am I doing that? It's super bad. So, but the reason why I was saying this was because, it's kind of that thing where it's like, what are you going to progress in life? Is working at a store as a quote unquote team member really going anywhere in your life? And I feel like some people sometimes are just too caught up in advancing in their life. Now, of course, you want to always be doing a steady incline in your life, right? But it's not bad to just have your life be content for a while, and honestly, I am going to be content with this job. It's going to be hard work that gets me out of my comfort zone and switches up my personal life so much that it makes my personal life better, right? I think of this sometimes, and I think about how boredom is truly the most luxurious thing to own on this earth, right? Think about it. 100 years ago, we had our ancestors, in New York, working at these factories, sewing shit for 16 hours a day just to go home and have no free time. They literally lived to feed themselves and their families, right? Do you think those people... Wait, what am I saying here? I completely forgot what I was saying while I was exemplifying that. Hold on. What was I saying? Oh yeah, how boredom is a luxury. Do you think those people would have killed to be bored? Their life was anything but boring, and I'm pretty sure those people would have killed to bored. And then we have me on the other hand, who would kill to not be bored. And you really have to get that in between in your life. And now I'm not gonna, for real, having those times where you're uncomfortable and not bored at all really makes those times of being at home more precious, and they're no longer boring. Those are very productive hours, because you want to know what happens if I get a schedule, I'm working 8 hours 4 days out of the week, right? What's going to happen is, instead of having free time watching TV before going to bed, I'm going to be putting as much work as I can into a video, and giving it my all. And I kind of miss that feeling. I used to, back in 2017, I would work at this bakery. I would work for my mom, and I was doing YouTube. And I have a good feeling about those times. I remember getting home from work to record a video. I just remember being so exhausted, but being relieved that I finally get home to make a video. And what my life feels like right now is I kind of have to force myself to make videos, because it's like I'm bored 24/7 doing nothing 24/7, and I have to force myself to do something productive, which is making videos. Now, in reality, I love making videos, but I remember a time when I didn't have to force myself to make a video. It's just I made videos because that was what I wanted to do with my time. Now, of course, that's what I want to do with my time right now, but it's not always what I get to do, you know? It's because I'm doing nothing all the time, and there's no outside motivation pushing me to make videos. Now, I don't use that as an excuse to not make videos. I'm still making videos. Y'all see me grinding out here, right? But I'm just very excited to have a job that, you know, makes me appreciate making videos more, and is gonna give me some stories for this podcast too, you know, because sometimes it's hard to do a podcast because you have nothing to talk about. But even right now, I have nothing to talk about. And how long have I been recording? 15 minutes probably? Oh no, shit, it's been 10 minutes. But I have nothing to talk about, and I'm talking about so much stuff right now. And now with this job, I can be coming home, you know, on my Saturday podcast. I got all this stuff that happened this week, and I'm telling you guys about it. I'm relaying it to you guys. And to me, that sounds awesome. And I really, really want to do that. And I can't wait to do that. And yeah, I'm just excited to get a job. I'm excited to be uncomfortable. And yeah. And man, I'm just excited, because for me, people may be saying as my life is the same, but for me, this is taking a step forward in my life. And that's what I'm very excited about. For me, this is taking a step forward, and it's a drastic step forward. I'm taking in a job that I'm completely uncomfortable with doing. So, you know, I take pride in that. That excites me a lot. So, by the way, guys, I don't know what gameplay you're watching right now on the screen. I honestly think I'm going to be putting up really old Fortnite gameplay, and maybe you guys can get a little nostalgic. Actually, yeah, you're watching Fortnite gameplay right now. I actually know the exact clips you're watching, and these are playing with Mailbox. I mean, Robbie09 back in 2018, back in season 3, and these are some of my favorite clips ever, and I definitely enjoy them. And there's gonna be more clips, because I'm sure that there are not enough clips to fill out this entire podcast. But hey, enjoy them, because these gameplays, I've kept them for years. I think only one of them have been technically shown on my YouTube channel. The reason why I've kept them is one day to get use out of them, because I always feel like you always get use. See, I've held on to these for so long, and now I get to use them as gameplay for a podcast. Now, I originally planned to upload them to my second channel as just gameplay, and obviously I'm still gonna do that, but now they're gonna be a part of this podcast and forever be a part of this podcast. You know, if somebody enjoys this podcast a lot and it happens to be their favorite podcast, they're gonna think about this gameplay, and that's just awesome to me, because this gameplay has meaning to me, and maybe it can have meaning to somebody, you know. And you know, because to me, when I put this work in this podcast, sure, I say like I don't care about the podcast, which I really don't, but I really do. I don't care in it in the way that if I miss doing a podcast, I'm gonna get tight. Like, but even with YouTube now, with my main channel, I'm not tight about missing a post anymore. Like, honestly, this week I'm gonna miss an upload most likely, to get myself a break, because I'm no longer gonna put that pressure on me with YouTube. Now, of course, you need some pressure, because pressure forms diamonds. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's so cringe. But you know, you need a little pressure, but just the pressure I was putting on myself to do YouTube before was just insane. Why was I treating YouTube like a job that pays me $50,000 a year? I get nothing out of YouTube, you know. I was talking about this in the last solo podcast, but I care about the podcast in a way that I will put genuinely my biggest effort. I will put the most effort I can into making sure everything in the podcast is something I love. I make sure I make a good thumbnail, and you know, right now I'm picking like really good gameplay that means a lot to me. What would be easy is just, you know, finding an old, like recording an old video and putting it on loop, but nah, I'm just putting something that's meaningful to me. And this gameplay means a lot to me, and I miss Fortnite. Let me talk about Fortnite real quick. It hurts. Fortnite genuinely hurts. Now, I don't think about Fortnite anymore. I used to, what can I call this? I used to have crippling nostalgia, and I would wake up. I remember this so much. I remember waking up every morning thinking about June of 2018 and how much I took it for granted, and that crippled me, man. And honestly, that may be a reason why my videos after, you know, season 5 were so bad. It was just because I had no motivation to do anything, but I still carried on the motivation to make videos, because for me, there's never an excuse not to make a video, you know. But to quit making videos when you have a YouTube channel and stuff, right? Shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but I would just wake up every morning thinking about June 2018 and how I took it for granted. And I think about the time where I couldn't play Fortnite for 2 weeks because the space bar on my keyboard broke, and that took two weeks out of season 4 that I could have been playing and having the time of my life. And then obviously the first few weeks of season 4 I was still a really bad player, but I really enjoyed the time I had while season 4 went on, and I just had this crippling nostalgia that I missed the time so much, and it was just really bad. But I don't think about Fortnite anymore because honestly, it's ruined. The thought of Fortnite has been ruined by giving it so many chances to be good again, but it never got good again. Fortnite was never... See, it had enjoyable moments, but Fortnite was never enjoyable after season 5. See, I say that I hated season 5, but season 5 was a good season. You know, when the P90s came out, I feel like what my problem with season 5 was the shit, what was it? I was just streaming solo wins all the time, trying to get solo wins, and it made me tilted. The game no longer was about fun. In season 5, it was more of trying to make streams on YouTube. And that's why season 5 was bad to me. I genuinely think season 5 was a good season. Besides the whole P90 controversy though. Damn, I'm really retarded. I can't pronounce anything. And but yeah. Shit, what up? Oh yeah. Guys, I am so retarded. I'm just forgetting everything that I'm talking about. Let me give myself a second to take a break and drink some water. But yeah, recently I hit up Robbie09 on Snapchat, and I was talking about the cure for nostalgia, because when you feel nostalgia, what it really is it's mourning for taking the past for granted. You know that quote from Andy Bernard, "Oh, you just wish you knew you were in the good times when you were in them." And because it really hurts. Nostalgia is a painful feeling. Nostalgia is a quite awful feeling, actually. It makes you super sad, and in my case, like crippling at the time, you know? And a way to get rid of nostalgia, and people are like, oh, why would I want to get rid of nostalgia? Because nostalgia is one of those weird feelings where it hurts it hurts so bad but feels so good, you know? And how you get rid of nostalgia is, in my way, it's through meditating, right? When I meditate, I think about the things that I'm thankful for, and I list them out. And not just thankful for, but grateful for. And a lot of those times I'm talking about stuff that went in my everyday life. And while you do that, you're able to show appreciation for those times. You're able to notice the good times while you're in them. And you're really able to focus on, like, a lot of people take times for granted. Everybody just sees a time as good or bad, when it's not that black and white. A time can have its good times and bad times, you know? Like a time can't just be bad or good. It's all tainted with good memories and bad memories. And for me, like 2018, wait, hold on. Let me think. Why am I talking so fast? Holy crap. I have to gather what I'm thinking about and talking. Sometimes it's hard to make words. But yeah, times aren't so black and white, and people will just say, oh, they're having a bad time in their life right now. And that's mainly why people have nostalgia, right? They will have when you're going through times, when you're going through them, you'll say you were having a bad time in life, right? But when you have nostalgia, you're thinking of those times as good times. And it's just not that black and white. Those times can actually be really good and really bad, but you're not taking the time to see the good in them. You're just having a rough time and seeing it as bad, and you're not taking time to appreciate the times that are good in your life, because there's always going to be good in your life, no matter what hardships you are. And you can't truly enjoy life if you can't find enjoyment when you're going through the worst part of your life, you know? Like, I consider this sometime like the worst part of my life, right? But the thing is, I constantly find enjoyment in it. And honestly, I'm happy with my life right now, even if it's not where I want it to be. I'm happy. And that makes me so much happier, because in knowing that, I know that I will never have an issue with nostalgia again, because I sit down, I meditate, and I'm thankful that today I was able to work on a YouTube video and I made a really good video. And something like that. And sometimes it's something as simple as that you don't appreciate. Like, I think about it, and like, there was good videos that I made that I didn't know at the time that I made them so good. But now it's like, oh, I made a good video and I'm thankful that I made a good video. And I can acknowledge that. And I'm fully aware now, because what nostalgia is just not being aware of the time that you're in, but you're aware of it in the future. And then what happens is you're just screwed, wishing you can go back in the past and change it. But right now, I'm living in the present, and now I'm always gonna live in the present. Now, of course, it's not wrong to appreciate old times, like, good times, you know? But what is wrong is nostalgia is an awful feeling that you shouldn't feel it, you know? Because you should be living in your own times. Now, of course, you don't have to do this through meditation. This is kind of like loosely based on prayer, because when you pray, like, a big part of religion and prayer is, you know, talking about the things you're thankful for whoever you believe in, right? I'm not gonna bring religion into this, but it's about telling your creator what you're thankful for, and that's basically what meditating is for me. It's not prayer, it's more of just being spiritual. There's a difference between religion and spirituality. You know, religion goes hand in hand with spirituality, but spirituality is, in my opinion, its own thing on its own. Oh man, been talking a lot. We're 25 minutes in. Let me get to the meat of the podcast, of what I want to talk about today. I kind of didn't know what I was talking about, but now I kind of do know what I'm talking about. So let me talk about why I hate social media. I know I've talked about hating social media before, but it truly just is so bad. I think about social media and how we're basically conditioned to care about things we truly don't care about at all. Like, for instance, numbers, or we care about who we're following, when in reality we don't care about who we're following. Like, I remember following so many people I didn't even care about or know, but I was just following them to follow them, you know? And social media truly just is the devil. I hate social media with all my heart. It's terrible. Now, social media is a tool, and let's say you can get somebody to control your social media, right? Like, I told my mom I wanted her to control my Instagram account, but then I just decided I'm gonna quit Instagram, because Instagram, no matter what way you put it, like for instance, I've had this feeling, and you guys definitely had this feeling. You post something, right? And you check the likes on it. You don't, like, I don't even care about who's liking my post, but here I am sitting in my bed at 10 p.m. when I could be making a banger ass video, but I'm just sitting here looking at who liked my freaking post on Instagram, and it's so lame. And we do that with everything. We post something to our Snapchat story, and we check who's viewed our story. And for what reason? What does it change in our day knowing who viewed our Snapchat story? Who liked our fucking Instagram post? It's so bullshit. Like, that's what it does to us. Now, I'm sure there are people out there who truly do care about seeing those, but like, if they do care, it doesn't bring them anything into their life. It doesn't make their life better. It doesn't give them any useful information, right? We just do it to do it, and we don't even notice it, right? Like, in our last podcast, Robbie09 was telling me how we just check social media to check it, right? And I'm not gonna lie, even though I've quit Instagram, I've checked it several times a day for no reason at all. I haven't posted to my Instagram in 3 months. Same with my story. I haven't done anything on my Instagram, and I check it. And it's just this terrible thing. And we check, like, for instance, I check Snapchat even though I don't have any Snapchat notifications that anybody texted me. So why am I going on Snapchat when I could be working on a video? I could be reading. I could be giving some love and affection to my dog some more. You know, something like that. And we just do this bullshit. And this is why I'm telling you guys, you should quit social media. Permanently. Delete it. I don't even care if it's like, I want you guys to better your lives, right? Now, to be honest, if you don't do it, I mean, it doesn't affect my life at all. But I want to see you guys do good. And I truly want you guys to, like, try to delete social media for maybe a month and see the improvement. No, for a week even. And just see the improvement not a week, a month. Because you have to kind of adjust to not being on social media, because for the first long while, it's really hard. You're still caught up in, like, you'll catch yourself going on your phone to check Instagram, but you don't have it installed anymore. But try it for a month. And once you get past that phase, you'll learn to do stuff with your time, you know? Because we try to occupy our time. Like, say we're bored, right? We try to occupy our time doing something. But it's never the right thing. Now, sure, it's okay to do stuff in your life that's completely meaningless, right? But not so often. People are getting on their phone and checking their social media every single day. If you do something like that once a week, like, you know, play a video game, that's fine. But with social media, it's not that. You're doing it all the freaking time. It's completely meaningless getting sucked into your phone doing nothing, right? You could be reading a book, and a book is like, let's say, okay, a book. Let's think about a book, right? It could be completely entertainment-wise, some fantasy story. I'm reading a book right now, and it's completely entertainment-based. It's not meant to teach you anything. But you want to know what? I've learned so much knowledge off that book that I've never even thought about before, and now that I use in every single day of my life. It has presented theories to me that I've never thought about before, and concepts, right? And that was all out of entertainment. I learned something. But we're on this phone, and what are we learning? Oh, Jimmy Thief McBob Tits liked our post of, you know, your whatever you posted. It's like, it's so bullshit. Especially, like, I get it if it's something you made and you're trying to see the feedback. But even that, right? Like, I used to be able to justify that, but I can't justify that anymore. I try not to look at the views that I get on videos. Of course, I see them sometimes accidentally, and it's unhelpable, but I try to never look at my views. I completely never look at my likes. The only thing I do is read comments and reply to them, because that's different. No matter what, I feel like comments are really important, because if you care about, YouTube isn't just about making videos, it's also about the community, and I care about my community, and I care about replying to comments. They mean something, and when I'm replying to a comment, that's doing something meaningful with my time. But looking at who liked your post is not meaningful. I hate social media. It's the worst. You should delete it. Get off social media and your life will improve. You will figure out to do things better with your time. It's kind of like this whole notion. I kept on playing Fortnite because I was like, what else am I gonna do with my life? But you want to know what? Ever since I quit playing Fortnite, my life has been 100 times better, and I'm figuring out stuff to do with my time. And I'll even say watching TV is even more, is just 100 times better than checking social media. Because you can learn something, just like a book, you can learn something, right? Just like a book, you can learn a concept you've never thought of before, and it brings more meaning to your life. And yeah, that's gonna be the podcast today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I've drained myself of talkage. I need to stop, because when you're on the solo podcast like this, doing a pre-recording, it's kind of bad. Like, you're kind of stuck in this way where you're constantly thinking of stuff and pushing your brain to your max. Kind of like how I was talking about uploading every 3 days. You didn't get time to think. It was just do. And you just did whatever that came to mind. And I truly like the live podcast better. I feel like that's the better format. I'm glad I'm getting a little chance to dabble in doing something different. But hey, we're going to go back to the live podcast. Just this week, I couldn't do it. I wish I was able to do it, but I didn't want to do it so late. It's almost 11 o'clock right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the 34th installment of the NP podcast. Next week, we're going to have Bat Deeren 24 on. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I love you, and peace.